Heck
It's like
yeah.
the light appearing as the sun rises, and Gandalf the White riding down there with the Riders of Rohan, just coming on down to save everybody's bacon.
Heck yeah.
And in the bottom right here from Invictus Gaming, this is MacSed.
Yeah, I'm hoping we see kind of like an anvil getting dropped on someone's head in a cartoon, but it's like an epically huge block of cheese. And I want to see if this man can dodge it or if he'll get a bit of a concussion. In the bottom left-hand side, the big favorite and the most dominant champion in China for the last 4 or 5 years. It is Kaisi Gaming's time.
It feels like before time, it was, you know, MacSed and Cyan and that sort of thing. Yeah, Jim.
I feel like there was a lot of Chinese champions that obviously were very well known in the Chinese scene, and then we would see them at an international event and go, oh my god, Jim is good enough to be one of the best players in the world. And then he wouldn't qualify for like any more events. And we'd be like, what happened to Jim, man?
I remember hearing that about Iasonu. I remember
Iasonu
being
as
like
well.
super hyped up by like a lot of the pro game players. Like, dude, IA is so good right now. He's like super high ranked and he's crushing people's skulls. He's so fast. It feels like you're playing a guy with 60 hands. And then he would, like, you know, make it to a WCS event and then get kind of bibbity bopped in the group stages.
Well, the thing is, most of these players they all pretty much had at least one good tournament, an IEM or something like that, right? They rock up, whether it be China Joy, Shanghai, something like that, and you'd be like, whoa, he took down a Korean, beat a few Europeans, but you know, like Cyan had one as well where he looked like just an incredible macro god. I think it was the one Uthermal won, 2016, I want to say. So yeah, it's just a shame though, because the competition was always so great within China that it was hard for a player to consistently qualify for things. So people were like, no, Jim was really good for 3 years, but we would only see him at 1 or 2 events because like Cyan would beat him out, or Tudming or someone like this, right? Ziggurar, IA, these guys would still beat them. So we didn't get to see as much in the international events, but the Chinese fans always knew how good these guys were. And that adept does get 2 hits off on the Reaper Probe. Tries to go for a little blocky block there almost, but this is not Warcraft 3, so it doesn't just slide right past.
I believe is what MacSed's history is actually in the
early
early 2000s.
Isn't it? Yeah.
I think so, yeah. He's a Warcraft 3 guy. And he's from Invictus Gaming, which, you know, we were talking about the history of esports in China. IG is like one of the biggest brands and Dota champions of the international 1 year.
Dota.
Oh, it's out of there.
Yeah, just barely regen. And oh man, I actually thought it was gonna have like 5 hit points. I was like, nah, that's fine. It was one of those moments where in my head I had the cocky, like, yeah, it'll get out of there. The regen's fine. It's way closer than I thought. Well, Robo Stargate Maynard, Mech Protoss. Did anyone call for Mech Protoss?
I think you might have picked. Let's go. I'm down with it. I'm ready.
Yeah, man. It's gonna limit the interaction. And now, obviously, it could just be very quick Colossi behind this. He will need to get double gas right about now on his natural. He can't really delay it much longer than this, or he won't really be able to use the Robo. So let's see that double gas before 350. Come on, son. Otherwise, we're going to see the Robo sitting there and not doing much.
Yeah. I love it, though. Like, playing standard against time, I feel like is a mistake for everyone in this bracket. Except for maybe Cyan.
Very nice. Gases go down. We've got 2 Phoenix. Cyclone, Marine, Pokety Poke. Now, obviously, Cyclone's pretty good versus Phoenix. And there's a tank on the way. Oh, man, this feels like a very committed push from Time. I said, hey, is Time just going to play super generic? No, he's really respecting MacSed. This sort of push feels to me like he's like, no, I can't just like let him do whatever he wants. 4 Marines and a tank boosting across. No scouting from MacSed. He has no idea what's going on right now, Maynard. If he knew he'd be chronoing an Immortal right now, that would be huge. Without an Immortal, does he have a shield battery? Oh, no.
Oh, my God. He's got 1 pylon.
He does have 4 Adepts, and he'll have a 4th Phoenix in a moment, but he's surprised!
All right, starts the Robo base. So he's trying to go for tier 3 Robo here, not worrying about the Immortal. Lifts up the tank, pulls the probes.
Good lifts.
Extremely committed, but I mean, he has to hold here or he just loses the game. So the probe pull needs to happen. He loses 10 of them, though.
Oh, the tank shots are brutal, man. 12 workers go down in the surprise push there. MacSed paying the ultimate price for not scouting with his Phoenix. That is huge. If his Phoenix saw this coming, he could have shut this down for sure, but with no vision of it, MacSed takes epic damage. Even the Adept goes down there. The Marines Not going to get anything else but 16 probes, 2 Phoenix. Oh, my lord.
This is one of those, the game is not over situations, but it's pretty grim for MacSed as the dust settles. Time is going to not reinforce, pulling back with that tank, pulling back with the Marines, realizing that, hey, you know, there is still a fleet alive. I mean, a pair of Phoenixes not really constitutes a fleet, but it's more of a squadron. And one of them has enough energy for a lift.
Yeah, this is interesting, man. I feel like Time is kind of saying, hey, I'm gonna take a risky move in game 1, and I like it. I think this sort of push has such a deadly position on this map, which is why MacSed has to pull probes into it, and just the fact that Time's willing to play a bit of a riskier build to kick things off makes me very happy, because it's always that cost equation with the Protoss, right? Where it's like, if I want to go Phoenix, they're not the best unit. They're really good if my opponent doesn't know I have them, and they try to do a Widow Mine drop or a Hellion attack or something. You just pick them all up, you kill everything. Suddenly, Phoenix opening is the best opening in the game. But if someone does something like this, and you don't scout with your Phoenix, you're trying to keep them a secret, you end up going, oh man, if I just moved one across the map at the start, I would have seen this coming.
Yeah.
Shut it down before it got going.
Maybe an adjustment to the build, you could just shade an Adept across, I suppose.
That's true. He did have a few Adepts just hanging out. The Reaper, of course, didn't want it to scout, I guess, but he had 4 Adepts, so definitely could have sent an Adept over.
So Time moves out right now, and there's no third command center, so that's not what he's moving out for. This is another, you know, phase 2 of the push, which obviously MacSed does see with the Observer right here in front of the natural ramp.
No battery.
No battery still. And yeah, like he's got a Colossus. It's going to have extended thermal lance by the time it gets over there. But yeah, this is a spooky push from the Terran.
Oh, he's gonna go straight up into the main. Ooh. Oh, wild, man.
My goodness.
Dude, Time's playing wild today, and MacSed is not seeing any of it coming.
Oh! And this tank spot's quite lovely as well. The Phoenix is going to need to be able to dig those tanks out. But there we go. They go for the lift on those tanks. Time's bio count still quite high. But the Colossi are in pairs now.
If he can get rid of the Marines, that will get rid of the high ground vision. He's got to focus the high ground Marines, but there's a scan anyway. Ooh, the Colossus actually does a great job against those Marines. Phoenix trying to take down the tank. Oh no, kill the tank, not the Widow Mine! Oh.
Okay. I mean, MacSed holds. Time still up a lot in army supply and also in workers too. Like right now, the Protoss, economically, if they were playing a macro game, would like to be a lot higher in workers and have a much faster third nexus than this. But MacSed's been putting a lot of resources into this Phoenix Colossus army that he's got going for himself. And I think Time's realized that he's kind of got MacSed on the mat at the moment.
Yeah.
And he can just keep him there. GG.
Yeah, just leaning that pressure onto him, using the leverage he had from the early lead. And YOLO's his way to victory into the main, but that is the way to do it. We're seeing an aggressive Time this season, and I love it.
Yeah.
Not giving his opponents much of a chance to get going at all.
Great to see him play against his image. You know, Time is known, and you've mentioned it before, as someone who doesn't really scout, kind of just plays regular TVP, like plays meta. A lot of players in tournaments, especially in main event tournaments like this, where there's thousands of dollars on the line, will do their research and they'll play the player, not the matchup.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that Time's lazy at all. It's just that he knows that he's really, really, really good, and his mechanics can carry him so far. Like if he just does regular TVZ timing attacks, TVP and TVT timing attacks, he's going to do well in this bracket because he is just confident in his abilities, as he should. You know, he's earned that. He is mechanically a lot stronger than everyone else in China.
Yeah, it's actually crazy just how much he can roll over people if he gets the game going his way. And that build order there just went according to plan. Build a Cyclone, build a handful of Marines, go across the map, pick up the tank and boost it forward. I love those builds as well, where like the 4th Marine, the tank pop out, the medevac pops, and it just picks them up, boosts over. You get it across the map so darn fast. It's Terran's pay limitation of using a warp in on the front, but it works out very well.
And it worked out with Time to get the 1-0 score. We're going to take a short break, guys. When we return, game number 2 between Time and MacSed. Don't go away. We'll see you then. G'day, StarCraft fans, and welcome back. You are watching the Chinese main event here. I'm Maynard, with me is Piggly Wiggly. And for the DreamHack Masters, Valencia summer season, you have got our next group match. It is the winners match between Time and MacSed. And Time is currently up 1-0 with a bit of a weird opener, but it worked. It got into MacSed's head and got into his face and did some pretty critical damage and snowballed from there. It's pretty the story of game one.
Blackburn, man. Always fear a Chinese Terran on Blackburn. Coffee has shown some clever builds on that map before, and Time follows suit and says, yeah, man, let's do it. Let's just take the fight to the opponent in a nice, quick tank push. You see that stuff coming. Phoenix are amazing because they give you vision, and you can prepare for things coming your way. When you're trying to be a sneaky boy and hide those Phoenix, you do get in trouble. MacSed, I think we may have clued onto the style that he's going to be playing in this series, just Phoenix Colossus, maybe even turtling on upwards from there. Obviously, it gets very complicated if you transition into full ground from there, but if you go mass Phoenix Colossus, you go into carriers or Tempest from there, heavy disruptor, that sort of stuff, it can really be a very difficult style for Terrans to play against because Terrans like to click on heads, Maynard. They like to play fast and do their little multi-prong and little drippy droppies. Doesn't work so well when your opponent has 12 Phoenix controlling the skies.
That's right. Clicking on heads, man. That's gaming. That's gaming right there. And this guy in the top right, boy, he's a gamer. He is such a gamer, man. And I mean that in all the nice ways. In the top right from Geyser Gaming, this is Time.
And his opponent representing Invictus Gaming, an aged Protoss, but one who has the veterancy to know how to take down the champ. He is an awesome player. It is, of course, MacSed.
All right, I'm keen to see MacSed's plan. And, oh, okay, so Time double gassing.
He did that last game as well, right? So double gas 2 games in a row might just be he's enjoying the aggressive flavor, more of a special style, you know, special known for just non-stop aggression in this matchup. There's not many Terrans who are as focused on that as him. Like Uthermal, I see do this sometimes as well, but I feel like, you know, every Terran mixes it in, the double gas style, but seeing someone do it 2 games in a row like this, definitely a little different. A depot block does block the probe, nice.
Yeah, Time is actually trying to get into MacSed's brain a little bit here. This is always going to make you, make a bit of a chill go up your spine as a Protoss. See that very early depot wall in? Only the depot is at like 21-ish supply and the CC on the low ground on 20. That's what the probe's looking for.
Yep. Sometimes people will wall off like this and just go for that high ground command center, so probe's going to hang out and come back for a scout later, most likely. Reaper is on the way out, and we do go straight for a reactor behind it. Quick Factory is there. Reaper's hunting. Where are you, you dirty little probe? I like this where the probe sits on the watchtower, and then it sees the Reaper coming and then runs away. I would like that move, but doesn't go for it, and he might lose it as a result.
Protoss detected. Just missed him. And the probe does have to cut back, though, so and the Reaper's going to be looking up in the main base and might catch it on the way out.
Yep. Well, the probe does head forwards back towards the watchtower. Widow mines are on the way, and Stargate goes down. But it's after Warp Gate and his second Adept, so it's a late Stargate for MacSed. So, interesting. I'm not sure if he did that last game, but 2 Adepts are out. Wants to shut down the Reaper. Remember, he did not Adept Scout last game at all. And so far, it looks like MacSed's not focused on doing that this game.
Yeah. If I was MacSed, I would be sending 1 Adept across the map, but it looks like he's still got a probe out there.
Didn't pull it far early enough. The Reaper barely saw it leave Watchtower vision. So he's going to hunt that bad boy down off into the edge of the map down there with some of the seaweed, some of the Zerg tentacles growing on the bottom of the ocean floor. No Robo this time, Maynard, just Phoenix and 3 gates. So MacSed's been scared into playing a little bit safer. Now, on the other hand, he's also rallied the first Phoenix across the map. So it looks like, yeah, I think he might just scout immediately with it. And if Time sees that, I would like him to just keep his Widow Mines at home.
Reaper confirms Stargate and Phoenix and many Adepts. Of course, a bit different a build there for MacSed than the last game. Robo does get dropped now, but of course with a bit more of an adept backbone before the Robo gets dropped.
Medevac boosts out to the left side. Phoenix goes in at the same time. So he is going to be able to hide that Widowmine drop. And seeing the add-on timing and so on, you should be able to tell that there is a drop that's already moved out. It's 4 minutes. Why are those add-ons not finished yet? It's because he built a Medevac and snuck it out onto the map, MacSed. Watch out! He doesn't seem to have realized.
Oh boy, this is nasty.
On the plus side, Time's respecting him enough to set up the Medevac as a bait. He's going to try and lure the Phoenix into those Widow Mines.
Come get me, big scary Protoss.
But he sees the Phoenix in his main, so he's like, oh, okay. You're just going to let me boom you. Let's go!
Okay, Boomer. Get it? Because MacSed's old. He's like, 34.
Yeah.
Probes in the south. Oh, my God. Oh, good split. That could have been way worse.
Yeah, it was a last second spready there. You know what? Not too bad.
Yeah, could have been way worse. Throw 3 Widow Mines, only losing 2 probes, but a denied mining time. And potentially getting the Medevac as well.
Yeah, if he micros the Phoenix in front of it, which he does, that should be dead. Oh, it survives.
All right. If he got the Medevac, that would have been pretty amazing for MacSed, actually. But as it stands, I would still say trades on the plus side for the Protoss there.
Yeah, definitely looks fine. No huge interruption to his economy. We are seeing the second and third barracks, the engineering bay, all coming down for time, but they're not super duper quick. And get wrecked!
Lovely.
Oh man! All right. Old man MacSed ain't going to sleep this early.
I'm back in your corner, kid. Put on the dunce cap.
I love that MacSed's like 6 months older than me, and I'm just like, he's so old.
Like this geriatric esports gamer.
I'm like, dude, MacSed's knocked me out of tournaments before. It's not like I'm the one that's old and washed up, but no, he's playing really well this game. Gets a bit of damage. Yeah, a little tickle on the Phoenix, but shouldn't be able to kill it. So he's doing great. Third base, Phoenix range, Colossus range, and more Phoenix on the way. Batteries going down as well. A lovely kickoff, but good anti-air. So time to leave.
I think that the Phoenixes might be boxed in to the point where, I mean, he could just try and fly them down the right-hand side and get them out that way, but could recall them if he really, really wanted to. But yeah, so MacSed really wants to make this Phoenix Colossus thing happen. It's not multiple Stargate Phoenixes. It is, just a smattering of Phoenixes from one Stargate into Colossus production while trying to get up that third base. Phoenix Colossus is definitely a very classic unit comp for PvT, but has its weaknesses.
Ooh, okay, Marine drop there, but does get saved. More Cyclones, Marines, Medevacs coming forward. Stim Shields and +1 are a while away, so Time's like threatening, but he doesn't really have a scary army right now. He needs those upgrades. MacSed's thinking about ambushing him. He's like, hey, what are you doing out here?
Yeah, and he's grabbed one of the tanks, which is one of the scariest things for MacSed's army.
Beautiful pickoffs. MacSed zoning really well. He's continuing to probe. No sign of a Twilight or more gateways yet, which makes me think MacSed might be going extra Stargates after this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because he's banking right now. He's got to decide, is it a ground swap or is he committing to the Air plus Robo? Air plus Robo is super good.
Okay, ground swap. Oh, the double forge goes down.
What? But he doesn't have a Twilight or gateways yet.
Yeah, that's strange.
That's double upgrades just for Colossus. He has no other units.
Hey man, there's slow zealots. There's slow zealots.
He's banking gas, so I'd love to see some Archons added in, maybe.
There's like 3 Adepts, Pig. All right, don't be judgmental.
I mean, I guess he's already planning a 2-2 timing like 5 minutes from now, but definitely an odd choice. I mean, this is every time we cast China, I feel like I cast with a lot more, like there's so much more just
Tim
like,
Allen.
yeah, Tim Allen kind of.
Twilight Council is on the way. Might have forgotten that. It is weird to get the double forge before the Twilight Council, but it is what it is. 1-1 is on the way for the ground army. We are having switched to ground pound.
Confident move. I think he's saying, I think I can just get away with this. I can split, defend. I got batteries. I got cannons. I got Phoenix up. And he's like, you know what? For me, I'm like, there's no way you feel confident enough to do that and that you can just get those upgrades. MacSed's like, dude, I shut down the Widowmine. I picked off a tank. He's not found any damage. I'm up in supply. Heck yeah, MacSed, go for broke. Why not? I'm really enjoying this confidence out of him.
Yeah. Big fan of MacSed's position in this game. I like his choices to go for something a little bit unorthodox. And also, kudos to Time for like complete map control. Look at that map, man. Damn, that's Terran everywhere.
Yeah, those Widow Mines really annoying as well. The armory's actually not built, and he does clean them up. Observer comes over, so MacSed would like to secure a fourth, but it's a very immobile style for another minute and a half until the Charge Zealots, Archons, and the Double Robo Immortal join in.
And here's one of the weaknesses of the Phoenix Colossus army. It's strong together, and it is weak separated. So
that's why he has like 8 cannons and
yep.
6 shield batteries.
Right.
Right? He has so much static, it's actually crazy. He might just max out on 3 base. He might be like, yeah, taking a fourth's a bad idea because Time has too many angles then.
Yeah, MacSed maxed out is very scary. Armory going to finish just in time with the 1-1 so that Time getting to 2-2. Should be ahead in upgrades in this game, at least very, very slightly. And, oh, okay. Archon's been thrown in as well. So the Templar Archive's been finished for a minute.
Yeah, the 2-2 starts pretty crisp, so it looks like the upgrades should remain pretty even. Accounting for a few chrono boosts here and there, shouldn't change too much. And there's why we don't take a fourth.
Yeah. Snap cancel there on the 4th. And Time, I mean, he's got Widow Mines burrowed at the 9 o'clock. He's also got him at 6. And an army kind of parked there as well. This is what I mean about Time's map control. He has complete and utter map control. The army of MacSed cannot leave until he's gotten a little bit more powerful. He hasn't even got charge yet. So all those things are very, very important for him to actually move out in the map and take a bit more of that, that real estate away from the Terran. Because, yeah, Time's got like 75% of it by the looks of it.
The way MacSed's playing this, it really feels like it's just going to come down to one big fight.
Like a big death ball, like close to maxed out death ball with maybe like 2-2 upgrades.
And Time is also maxing out very quickly because he's kind of forced to play really careful. It's almost the sort of game where I'd advise Time to like not build any more SCVs here and just like 66 is plenty because you want to make sure you have a lot of army supply because like I said, that first army fight probably decides the game, especially now that you see there's like Zealots and Immortals and Archons. You don't have to be worried about carriers coming out, so you don't need a large economy here.
Good catch with an Observer. He sees the code. Whee! Thank you, Insane. I like to ride.
Yeah.
I like to ride with the corpses up to the top of the ocean.
Stalkers and Lurkers are my favorite because they kind of like spin sometimes. Yay! That was pretty good too. It's like, wee! Take me up. Okay, disruptor transition underway.
I like it. I mean, it's time for ghosts. I think that Colossi are still pretty decent against them. The ghost that is, or like any robo thing, like tier 3 robo thing is quite good against ghosts. But it is about that time when the Terran gets up their own tier 3 and Time, to the surprise of not many people, is just going to have a ton of bio, and he's going to rely very much on his control and potentially multitasking to make the good fights happen.
Zealots kill Cyclone, Marines get revenge, taking out those Zealots. Warp Prism is on the way. It's a very scary maxed army. How many ghosts we got? It looks like the number is like growing.
3?
Yeah.
Oh no, 6 on the way. Okay.
Okay, yeah, he should be able to deal with this then. I don't know what you do here as MacSed because I don't know if MacSed's really setting himself up for the super long game. His army's not bad by any means, but like, does he just go 3-3? If so, where's the blink on the DTs? He needs DTs, blink. Otherwise, he's got to force a fight because we don't see tech progression. And Time's army is going to get better. He will eventually. You leave a Terran long enough, he's going to do that thing Terrans hate to do. He's going to make range libs.
Oh my god, he's got so many Vikings. I love it though. It makes a lot of sense.
I mean, it's a lot of Phoenix. You kind of need him, right? EMP already gets on.
Right smack bang into the middle of that Phoenix flock. Ghosts doing their things. Only back to Protoss. Time's going to have to juggle his sieged up units from one part to another. Doesn't want to have too many, weaknesses in the armor here.
He's going to let the shields regen on the Phoenix. A very good idea. They've only got about 60 shields. Oh, MacSed's just going to YOLO it. Let's go.
That's a big comp game of Terran M. BMPs all over that front line. Disrupt the Nova's going to need to be perfect. Those Colossi are going to start to get softened up once those Vikings get amongst it. Oh, man, this is a close fight. MacSed's robo units tearing through that ground army.
The Vikings, though, there's nothing left that shoots up, and all of the Colossus will go down. Oh,
Charge,
no.
let's get up there. The charge loss, man. Oh, they're down at the 3rd base, hacking and slashing through SCVs, which is damage, and that's great. But MacSed looks like he really wants to go for the throat here. Should have all these units in the natural, I feel.
The Vikings finally take that out. The Disruptors are there. A lot of SCVs go down on this base. This is pretty huge damage. And MacSed has a bit more bank behind it, but his Prism went down. He's got to pull out of there. I like this withdrawal. If MacSed stayed any longer, he'd lose all these units. As it is, though, he starts 3-3, starts up more Colossus. He's going to rebuild. He did hit like a hammer there, but remember, even though Time lost workers, he has a lot of command centers, and he's still got 56. He can rebuild, but I think the thing is for MacSed, actually, Chrono or Warp Prism after that Colossus, maybe even get a forward pylon up. Just go again, round 2. I think he has enough bank advantage that if he just hits another big attack like that, I don't know if Time's going to be ready for it.
Time is ahead on upgrades, as we kind of assumed he would be. 3-3 on the way, +3 attack about to finish, so he's going to have a bit of a power spike to his army, which is still primarily bio units. Is respecting the Colossi and the Phoenixes still, continuing to replenish those Viking numbers as well, and now switching gears straight into Ghosts and more bio to max out. So oddly enough, didn't have drilling claws just yet for the Widow Mines, but starting to get them now. Be a lovely little addition to deal with the charge lots.
Tech Lab, right? Tech Lab Factory is pretty rare this late in the game.
True,
so, yeah, it's interesting to see him adding all those little details. 5 bases are fully established now. 3-3 upgrades are done. Terran Army is very scary. It's a lot of Zealot Arc on Phoenix. The rebuilding of the Phoenix, I'm not sure if I can get behind it. Now, on the other hand, Time's Viking count sucks, so he's got 5 damaged Vikings. There's a lot of anti-air now. Oh my god, the Phoenix just get wiped.
Yeah, that Widow Mine was pretty tasty. Disrupt the Nova coming on in. Time splits, negates the damage. Another Disruptor picked off before the Nova connects. Time takes an amazing fight here and takes out a bite of the Colossus as well. Only one left. The charge lot reinforcement coming from MacSed. Starting to spend some of his bank. Time holding that line in front of the third base. Can he cut through these charge lots? It looks like the answer is yes. And he takes an incredible fight.
Yeah, dude. MacSed took an awful angle there. He went, oh, Time's out of position. Let's go. But he ends up throwing the Phoenix away at the start. The EMPs landed on everything, and it felt like his Zealots just went ahead of his army and ended up dying there. I don't know how any Vikings survived. There were so many Stalkers and Phoenix, but it just shows that the attack angle was really messy for MacSed. You can see he's very eager to finish the game. He doesn't want to let it go too much longer. He's put up a very good fight in this map, but look at the micro from Time just started stepping his way.
Yeah, and I think that Time has, he won that battle at that third base so convincingly that this is one of those snowball moments. And yes, indeed, MacSed has to tap out. Time